Hi, this is Stan from Hardwood Inspirations. Welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a woodworking project where my wife wanted me to make her a new desk, and she's using some old sewing machine treadles as the base for the desk. So it's a pretty simple build. It's just going to be a slab that is 30 inches by 62 inches, and then I will be connecting some monitor holders and keyboard tray. I hope you enjoy the build. Please subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so that the next time a video is uploaded, you will be notified. Thank you and have a great day. Here I am using my chop saw that I have, my stand with a measuring length, and we will be making these pieces to an extra length so I have an opportunity to trim at the end. So here I am cutting the pieces for the slab. They are made out of alder, and they will be 63 inches long and a total width of over 30 inches by the time I'm done here. But I had to put edge glue several pieces together in order to make the slab. And here I am cutting the different boards that I've cut to length, the 63 inches for width, trying to straighten up the edges so that I have a nice tight joint when I do the edge gluing. And here I am, I've got the clamps out and I'm starting to do the edge gluing of the 5 different pieces that I had to use in order to make the slab. I'm using Titebond 3, so it's waterproof. And the reason I'm using Titebond 3 is it gives really good adhesion besides being waterproof. And I'm just making sure all the glue is spread evenly on all the boards before I clamp them up. So here's my slab after everything was glued up. I've run it through the drum sander, routed a small edge on it, and now I'm doing final sanding with starting with 100 grit, working my way up to 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm doing this on both sides of the desk. After sanding, I'm going to put on a dark alder stain made by Old Masters. And actually, this one ended up being a mini wax one. I could not find it in the Old Masters. And so it matches our front door of our house. And this is what Cy wanted. She wanted a nice dark stain. So here I am applying it. And I will apply it to both sides and make sure it's saturated real well. And then I'll wipe it off after it's had a time to soak into the wood. Now that it's penetrated into the wood, I am going to wipe it off with a clean cloth and get rid of all the excess stain on the surface of the desk. So after wiping off the surfaces, I then let it sit for at least 2 hours to totally dry, and then I'm going to apply a polyacrylic from Mini Wax onto it for a finished surface. And here I am applying the polyacrylic. I'm using a brush to put it on and trying to make sure I get it on evenly in the entire surface so that it looks really great. This is the first coat, and I will do this on each side. After letting the first coat dry, I'm going to use some 220 grit sandpaper and lightly sand the desk so I can prepare it for a second coat. The next step in the process is I'm going to use a tack cloth to wipe the surface to get rid of all the dust from the surface before I put a second coat on. So that way there I'll make sure it's nice and smooth. And so here I am preparing to put on the final coat on the surface on the top of the desk of the polyacrylic mini wax sealer. So after I get this coat on, I'm going to let it sit at least 24 hours before I turn it over and do the bottom side of the desk. I also will do a light sand on the top, just take any kind of ridges or any little specks of dust that might have gotten into it, so it will be a nice smooth surface. Using some 320 grit sandpaper just to kind of smooth this out a little bit. Ooh, that is so nice. So after laying the desktop down on the pedestals, I broke open all the hardware that we're going to use for dual monitors that will clamp to the desktop, and then also the hardware for the keyboard tray and the mouse tray underneath. And this is me super fast putting it in place. So like a lot of instructions nowadays, the instructions are not really clear, they're not detailed, and they usually are in Chinese at least, and then also in English. So here I am reviewing the instructions. I know guys that actually look at instructions, but sometimes it is helpful, so you don't have extra pieces left over. Okay, there they are, all hooked up as far as on the base and everything, and then Cy will come back and get her actual computer hooked up. Thanks for watching my channel here at Hardwood Inspiration. Please hit that subscribe button, that thumbs up, and the notification bell for notification of the next video that will be available soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day.